Good morning. This is Jared Ambo, and welcome to The Issue. Today's topic is You Don't Really Know Me. You don't really know me. What does that mean? Well, it's interesting. Being a part of a public profession, a profession that occurs in the public eye, like being a trial attorney, putting out videos, having an internet presence, being on TV every once in a while for good and bad reasons. A lot of people want to have an opinion about you, right? They want to share what they think about you, about me, right? And talk about me or share about me or say things about me. And the truth of it is that, A, none of these people really know me, right? My wife's not on TV or the internet talking about me. And B, it doesn't really matter. I don't really care. But let me tell you why. It's not because I don't really care about human beings or what people think about me. It's because I know that my behavior is what it is. I am who I am, right? So 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I was in the news for not a great thing, right? Ran into a situation where someone was driving my car and was intoxicated, and I was in the car, and I got out and I talked to the police officer. He got angry with me because he thought I was interfering with his investigation, and he arrested me. Arrested me for interfering with police officer investigation. This was something that was, it was embarrassing, right? Why was I in that situation, right? And look, the criminal charge went away. It wasn't something that there was, there was reasonable cause for me to have been arrested that day, and it was fine, and everything went away. And the truth is that, guess what? That's who I am. That's what happened to me. And I can run from it, right? I can pretend like it didn't happen, and I can try to hide it, and I can try to say, no, I'm not that person. No, but I am, you see? I made a mistake that night. Now, the mistake I made was that I got out of the car and I talked to this officer and I got involved in an investigation he was doing, and I probably should have kept my mouth shut and stayed where I was, right? Because that wasn't the time or space or place for me to challenge what he was doing, right? Granted, I saw this officer 2 days ago in court. I'm not angry with him, and he's not angry with me. We're fine. That wasn't the place for me to make the fight that I was making, is the point. Now, I did decide that night not to get behind the wheel of the car because at the time I was drinking and I was intoxicated. And so I made a good choice followed by a pretty bad one. Now, does that mean I'm a terrible person? No. Does it mean I made a really terrible choice that night? Sure. Yeah, it was a mistake. But I make mistakes, right? I'm a human being like everybody else, right? Now, I also have a strong and powerful duty to my profession, right? To act in a particular manner, in a particular way at all times. It's one of the reasons I don't drink anymore, right? Because I had made some poor decisions drinking, and I thought, well, I would have never made that decision had I not been drinking. And so I quit 2 years ago. I just don't do it anymore because that led to me making some poor decisions, right? And so I don't participate in that activity anymore because it's foolishness for me, right? But am I supposed to now go and hide that? Am I supposed to react when people bring that up? Am I supposed to react when a client comes in that wants to hire me and says, man, I'll let you up on the internet and I saw you got arrested? Yeah, I did. I made a poor choice. I didn't get convicted of anything, but I made a poor choice. And I have to own that, right? I have to own who I am. I can't hide from that. That doesn't make any sense. That's crazy, right? If I'm going to claim those things that are good about me, if I'm going to claim I am an exceptional trial attorney, exceptional, then I also have to say, and I'm a flawed human being. So I've made mistakes in my life, right? That mistake was 5 years ago. 5 years ago. It is what it is, right? And so when people come to get me, it's not, if people like attack me or they say bad things about me or they, Jared's in this, or you're not smart enough to be on the internet every day, or whatever the case may be, it's okay. And it's not because I'm cool or I'm the best or the greatest, it's just because I'm authentic, right? I'm just going to be me. I'm just going to get on the internet and be me. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to tell you what's going on in my life. I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking about. I'm going to tell you how I think it makes me a better trial attorney. I'm going to tell you how I'm growing and how I'm struggling. I'm going to tell you what freaks me out and what makes me happy. I'm just going to be me. And that's enough for me. I'm really okay with just being me. And if that inspires some people to say some things, or if that inspires some people to be angry with me or to talk about me, or say, that's cool too. Whatever. That's no big deal, And in this environment, we have to deal with that, right? In this environment, you get a client that walks in, and this happened to me 2 weeks ago. I get a client that walks in and says, hey, man, I talked to another attorney. He says you're terrible. I go, all right, great. I'm not, Here I am. I'm actually really good. Strangely enough, I kind of like that guy that you're talking about. I think he's a pretty good attorney. But, whatever. If he thinks I'm terrible, cool. I'm curious why you're here anyway. But the guy ended up hiring me, right? Because I was authentic about it. I was like, okay, I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to say anything nasty about somebody unless I think, I have an actual authentic feeling about someone's ability to do a job, right? And if I think a guy that's a plumber is a terrible plumber, I'm going to be like, I kind of think he's a terrible plumber, to be honest with you. But, hey, I don't know. Maybe he's changed, right? Maybe it's changed since the last time I had to deal with it. And I'm not going to attack people for no reason. That just doesn't make any sense. And so I didn't attack this person. I was like, hey, look, it is what it is. He feels that way. Well, I'm sorry for him that he feels that way. I think it's kind of silly. I think I'm really, really good at what I do. And I think my experience and my results speak for themselves. And that was that, right? But it's an authentic answer, right? I don't have to get triggered or freaked out about it, right? I don't have to lose my mind to somebody saying something about me. It is what it is. It comes from an internal comfort with me. Right? It comes from an internal comfort with who I am today. I'm not 25 years old. I didn't have this when I was 25 years old. I'm 49 years old. And so, as I've grown older, I've realized that, like all people, I'm flawed. And like all people, I make some mistakes. And like all people, I try to overcome those mistakes and get better as time goes on, right? And I work every day to expansively get better at being a trial attorney. I think that's pretty clear from the talks I have every day. If you've seen any of my other ones, it's about, how can I get better, right? How can I be better at this? And I'm real okay with telling you right up front that I'm not the greatest. I mean, I'm not the greatest trial attorney I know. Well, I am the greatest trial attorney I know. But there's some guys that are really close. There's some guys that I really like to watch, try, because I think I could learn a lot from them. And that's okay with me, right? I mean, like when I think that I'm not learning anymore, when I figure out that I've got it all figured out, well, I probably ought to stop doing it. So anyway, that's where I'm at today. I had some feedback from someone that was less than positive, and it it kind of hit me. I was like, well, what's this happening? And I realized, yeah, it's just the same old thing, It's just people talking. It's just people saying things, right? It's just people just running their mouths. And it's okay, because the statements made by those kinds of people are reflections on them way more than they are on me, because I know who I am, right? And if somebody wants to know who I am, then the only thing that's required is that you ask, because I'm here, right? And I'm here to be me, and here to be authentic, and here to be who I am every day of the week. And I'm going to continue to do so. So thank you very much for listening to The Issue. I appreciate it. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.